Right now in 2026, Indian fixed deposits are offering safe haven yields between 6 and 7.5%. If you are a non-resident Indian looking to park capital, this makes India one of the most attractive options available. For the remote investor, the real friction usually comes from the banking structure itself rather than market volatility. This chart maps your return potential against friction. Setting up the wrong account type or choosing a bank with poor offshore infrastructure silently drains those high returns through heavy taxes, or worse, leaves your money trapped by repatriation limits. We are going to evaluate the top Tier 1 Indian banks based on how they actually function for you as a remote investor, stripping away the marketing claims to see the real utility. Cautionary: selecting a bank solely for its headline rate without verifying the account structure often results in significant, avoidable leaks in your final yield. Looking at this comparison matrix, the left column breaks down the NRE, or non-resident external account. It offers two massive advantages. The funds are fully repatriable back to your country of residence, and the interest earned in India is 100% tax-free. The trade-off is strict. The money must originate from outside India in a foreign currency, meaning you are exposed to exchange rate fluctuations when you make the deposit. The right column shows the NRO, or non-resident ordinary account. This vehicle is designed specifically to capture and hold money you generate locally inside India, like rental income or local stop dividends. The friction here is heavy. The interest earned is hit with up to a 30% tax deducted at source, and moving that money out of India is heavily restricted. The geographic origin of your funds dictates exactly which account vehicle you must use. Comparing raw interest rates is entirely meaningless until you establish where your money was earned. Across the 2026 landscape, average NRE fixed deposit rates span from roughly 6% up to 7.5%, depending on the institution. This yield curve shows the sweet spot for capturing peak rates sits squarely in the 1 to 3 year lock-in period. But this commitment requires losing liquid access. Break the deposit early and the bank triggers penalty fees, reducing your payout. Selecting the correct tenure timeframe is just as critical to your final yield as picking the bank itself. Let's run the exact numbers. You deposit 10 lakh rupees at a 7% interest rate for a 3-year tenure. This table shows the gross return. The initial capital generates 2.25 lakh in interest, totaling 12.25 lakh rupees. Inside an NRE account, that profit remains entirely tax-free. But inside an NRO account, a 30% tax slice immediately guts your net return. Mathematically, a slightly lower interest rate sitting inside a tax-free NRE structure will easily outperform a high advertised rate trapped in a taxable NRO structure. Top banks compared. SBI offers absolute safety, but yields around 6.45% with slower UX. ICICI maximizes digital convenience over top yield. Federal and Access push yields past 7.1%, lacking sheer scale. HDFC is the balanced equilibrium, blending 7.25% yields with trust. There is no universal best bank. The correct choice depends entirely on whether you prioritize remote convenience, absolute safety, or maximum yield. Even if you choose the right bank, making simple operational errors in your setup will actively destroy your overall potential returns over time. The most common error is rate chasing, selecting a bank solely for a high interest rate while ignoring the severe tax impact of the account structure itself. Next is the duration trap. Locking your money or bank for 5 to 10 years eliminates your flexibility to adapt during shifting macroeconomic interest rate cycles. Finally, lack of diversification. Relying entirely on a single bank to hold all your offshore capital concentrates your risk unnecessarily. Avoiding these basic structural mistakes protects far more wealth than finding an extra fraction of a percent in interest. To match your capital with the right institution, follow this framework. For absolute peace of mind and safety, default to SBI. For frictionless digital management from abroad, default to ICICI. And for high returns backed by institutional scale, default to HDFC or Access. Comment your specific country of residence and financial goals below, and I'll help you with a personalized setup recommendation. We will be breaking down the exact details of NRE versus NRO tax laws in the next video. Effective optimization means aligning the correct tax vehicle with a banking platform that fits your specific lifestyle.